Loquacious Libations with Hatter and the Sage. We are on
On
the
the
air. All right, let's see how long it takes this to pick up, just out of curiosity.
Well, yeah.
Because I do already have it set this time.
Here's what's funny about YouTube, though, is we have this big delay. Yeah. But yet, we can say and do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Right.
It's not like live radio.
Right, exactly.
Now, and what's funny
There
is
we go.
when I did live radio.
Oh, look, it came straight in. It didn't even show the clapboard.
Oh, you got to wonder. Well, here.
All right. Well, we're here. We're live anyway, and here's our clapboard again, just in case. We are doing Marvelous Manhattans.
Yeah, we're going to do a series of Manhattan riffs, if you will. So it would be a variety of things. We're going to start with the winner of our Sagamore blind that we did. Mm-hmm. And we're going to finish with another Sagamore, the Manhattan Finish Sagamore.
Right.
But this is the Double Oak, which won our little Sagamore blind that we did, which surprised both of us because we both thought for sure that Calvudas was gonna take that one, but nope, we were wrong. So I'm just gonna start making.
That sounds good. By the way, I don't know if Lee will be able to get in here with us tonight or not. He was having trouble getting into his YouTube account last night. And I was trying to help him troubleshoot it and such because, we've got him on Betty's family thing. And so we're trying to troubleshoot it and figure out why in the hell he's not able to log in over there. But maybe he'll be able to get in one of his other accounts.
Yeah, that's weird that he's having that kind of problems.
Yeah, I need to adjust the camera some here. We're seeing way down the hallway, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm sure you guys would rather see more of the set. Says we have 2 viewers over here now.
Well, and since just for edification, a Manhattan, of course, is typically made with a rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, and some bitters, and that's it in a nutshell.
And of course, the Luxardo cherries.
Well, yeah, you got to have Luxardo cherries. So, and I, a lot of people will do several dashes. Mm-hmm. So there's some that will do 4 dashes of bitters, which I think is overkill on a Manhattan.
Right.
Because this really, it's sweet, but it's not that sweet.
Right.
So I'm a 2-dash guy.
And you know what? My granddad was too.
Yeah.
When we did that one before, I think I even put on the recipe for it because I was just going off of something online. But I got to thinking later, and he usually just did 2.
Yeah, it's it rounds the cocktail out really nicely. So,
right. Bill Mason is with us. Hey, Bill, what's happening, man?
Nice.
That's not Chunks ice. I thought about getting one of those little countertop ice makers, but you know how much counter space I've got in there.
Oh yeah, huge amount.
Well, the kitchen's about the same size as the set here, and it probably looks a little larger on that than in real life here, but about 5 by 7. And that doesn't even, that's the walls themselves, and there it's, you got counter space in front of that. Tiny kitchen. So, Bill says he's tired. That's too, long week already.
But isn't there's anticipation is palpable right now.
Yep.
I just I'm so excited for the future. I've never been more excited for the future. That's when I said I'm really in a good place right now. That was part of it too.
Right.
Just
there's a sense of anticipation. With things going a little bit better. Pretty much all around from what I've been able to see.
Yeah, well, no, it just depends.
Except for that one meme that I sent you this afternoon.
It just depends. No, there's still people with TDS out there.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Seriously, I've had two that I've run across this this week that just they can't get past it. They just they're programming, and that's what it is. I feel for them. I feel bad for them that they could get so triggered
Right.
by really what's the normal course of politics, even though politics in this country has gotten quite
Out of
vicious,
hand.
out of hand. I agree, and it shouldn't, but it has, and it's we've turned into a taste great or less filling culture.
Yeah.
I mean, which is stupid.
Our on-air sign looks pretty good on here.
I like that.
And that camera angle is much better. I need to mark the floor with tape. Well, you know what? It's almost there. Where I had my old marks. Just letting y'all hear this.
Yeah,
So that's the
everybody's like,
important part.
"Oh, you gotta give it a good stir. You gotta get at least a 30-second stir and get it nice and cold because it's just going into your glass without any ice." So.
Right. Well, on top of that, here back to what we're doing tonight, the Manhattan. Our very first test was my granddaddy's Manhattan.
Right.
And you've heard me relate the story before too about going on vacation with him and being woke up in the morning to the sound of a spoon in a glass,
Ding ding.
stirring the
A toddy, right?
hot toddies. Yeah,
Yeah, very
tongue
typical.
tied over here. Hadn't even had anything to drink. Do you notice that always happens to at least one of us before we ever take
We
a
just
sip?
can't get it out.
Right.
So, well, here's to you, man.
Here's to you.
Here's been a heck of a week. A heck of a week for me. Stuff we won't talk about on air.
Right.
But a very interesting week. You know what always gets me about this? Look at the beautiful color
Oh yeah.
that the Manhattan gives. I mean, it's just like
Hey Beth.
liquid copper.
Let's see if I can get us a good view of
And this
it.
is really nice and cold too, boy.
So there we go. Hopefully with the lighting you can see the color in there.
Oh man, that's just a tasty drink.
That is.
You know, I can't remember when we talked about
The color came out pretty good.
the inventor of this cocktail. Obviously, it's a Prohibition era cocktail, invented in Manhattan, of course.
Right.
But I don't know who has the credit for creating the concoction. It's old too.
Right.
So, but it's good.
Yeah, pretty cool to come full circle with that too, since we're starting out the new year.
Yeah, well, you know what? And here, talk about New Year's and new things. I mean, we should let everybody know. Next week, we're making a big change.
We're making another move next week. We have decided that there are other platforms out there that support a little more free speech. We've actually had
we're getting too many complaints of people actually not being able to chat.
Right, not being able to chat at all. Selective comments being
Deleted
or not
or
come
people,
through to us,
and or people just not even being able to get into our cast.
right. Yeah, we've had some problems with that too. Willard, the DJ from 96 Rock, tried to get in one time, and it was trying to make him go through a password thing, and even Lee's having problems getting into his account right now. I was joking with him last night over text. I said, "Well, you think they banned you?"
Yeah, well, because he's one of the most vocal,
Right.
and
the one that certain comments keep getting dropped out.
right. So anyways,
Anyway, we're going to move over to X.
we're moving to X. We're moving to the free speech platform.
That's right. And that's at Loquacious
Live.
So if you
Just
don't have an X account, go
get
one.
And Loquacious Live, we're going to start broadcasting same
week.
bat time, different bat channel,
Same mad
time,
different mad channel.
different mad channel. But yeah,
With the mad South African running the channel.
I think that's going to help us quite a bit. And you know what's
Who knows, we might even
interesting?
get some more exposure.
I think so. And here, I don't know if you saw this. It came out on Monday, but the traffic on X now has hockey sticked.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Compared to just in the last like
It is very yummy, Beth. She says really nice color, looks yummy.
yeah, it is.
It is.
It's
Quite
just
tasty.
here depends on my tangent.
Tangent.
Depending on my
Didn't know one of
mood,
those in a while.
I would say that this is at one time when I was in the finance business, this was my favorite cocktail. It was just my go-to cocktail. I'd walk in and everybody, especially when I was in New York, I was just always drink this. And they pour Rittenhouse rye. That's what they use. Is the most common rail drink.
Right.
Or either that or Pikesville rye.
Right.
I like Pikesville a lot, by the way. And but I'd always order this, or I'd order an old fashioned. But see, I prefer. People would look at me cockeyed because I go, "Can you make that old fashioned with a lemon rather than an orange?" And then people are like, "That's not an old fashioned." Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you? Just make it a Manhattan.
One thing I love about the Manhattan, though, and it took me a little while to appreciate this side of it, is that the sweet vermouth with the bitters and the way that it reacts with the bourbon. As opposed to everything else we drink, it is either not necessarily savory, but not sweet.
Yeah, there's just a really nice balance to the chemistry of this drink.
Right.
It's just really, it's not too sweet. It's not too bitter.
And that's what I mean. It's not like some of the sweet drinks that we've had that are intentionally sweet.
Yeah.
But it's still got that sweet back in it. And
yeah, it's there, but it's an undertone.
The bitter at the front
Comes on the tip of your tongue.
Tip of your tongue.
Yeah, it's just this. It plays on your palate really nicely. Which is what makes it a really wonderful drink.
Right.
And then you finish it off, of course, with a soaked cherry.
Oh, absolutely.
Now here this drink is meant to last quite a long time. Typically, it's a sipper.
Right.
So
and that, of course, is the cherries that Scott always brings for this.
And we cracked a new jar today.
There you go. Those are what, $23, $24 on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon's $23. It's the best
one
price.
jar. Right.
Hey, you get what you pay for in that, though.
Absolutely. Well, and I tell you, talking about the Manhattan and that flavor profile and everything, even with the ancient age and vermouth, it's still a really nice drink.
Yes, it tastes
and
great.
That includes going with the cheap-ass bright red cherries.
Yeah. We did. That was our first week.
Yeah, the first week. That's the way that I did it because I wanted to do it the way that he always did. That was his literally daily drink.
Yeah, and here, that was this is pretty much for a long time. When I was working in Washington, D.C., people will, if for those of you that are Mulder fans, X-Files.
X-Files, yes.
Okay.
I was. Even had the damn computer game.
All right. Well, my office, the bar that they always went to, okay, was a real bar in Washington, D.C. on K Street. Okay, it was actually underneath K Street on the corner of Wisconsin Avenue.
Okay, I remember the look of the bar when you said it. That's what that right was, an instant recognition.
Okay, it's under the bridge. And the name of that bar during that film, I'm sure it still is. I don't know because I haven't lived there for quite a long time. But the name of that bar was Chadwick's. My office was 4 floors above that. In the building that bar was like a little townhouse, and there was another little thing next to it that was detached from this giant office building called the Flour Mill. And I worked there every day. Well, every single day, me and 2-3 other guys would go down. The market would close. We'd close out our business for the day, and we would walk downstairs and have a drink at
that bar.
Chadwick's. Yeah, Chadwick's.
Very cool. By the way, just to catch up, do they come in green? Bill, yes, I actually saw those cheap-ass cherries in green the other day at Publix liquor store, I think it was.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that make
those,
what are they called? Panettone. if you make cheap ass panettone, which is an Italian Christmas bread.
Right. Oh yeah, like you see in the damn fruit cake. Those. Yes.
Christmas panettone, cheap shit, has those maraschino, those red and green maraschino cherries in it, which is not the way you make panettone, by the way.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught it, but Chris is here with us again.
Oh, hey, Chris.
So welcome, Chris.
Thanks for coming to see us, man.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys are drinking tonight, too,
Yeah.
by the way.
If anybody's drinking with us out
If you're
there.
drinking with us on this Wednesday night.
Oh hell, look, we got 5 viewers at one time.
You know what? What is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Hey, I know, I can't count. I'm just a math guy. I can't count. I had to use my finger. Hey, you know, we got 5 viewers and we got 5 days.
5 days. Craziness roundup time?
Craziness roundup
Craziness
time.
roundup.
You know, no.
Once I get the box going, we're going to have fucking theme music for that, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, we should play the theme from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, or Napoleon 14.
Napoleon, that'd be perfect.
We'll see if
We can
swing
interchangeable.
that, right. But
you know what's funny?
Do the good ones come in green? Bill wants to know. Do the Luxardos come in green?
No.
No, they don't.
No. Sorry.
So, all right.
You know what's funny is we had a discussion about craziness on here. Michael and I, we text each other. I have to delete our texts because I get
not for that reason. Don't think that.
Yeah, the dick pics that he sent me. I got to get it out of my head.
Remember, we've got other musicians out there.
I can't unsee that. No.
They're gonna think.
You walked right into it. You just set yourself up.
Oh.
No, you know, literally, when we start busting, we go back and forth, and all of a sudden I'll look at the end of the day, and it's like 289 texts. I'm like, I gotta delete all this shit.
Well, see, that's why I've got all the damn memory on that thing. It's songs and.
Well, that's probably why I'm running. I have to. I only have 16 megabytes on this ancient.
I'm like 256.
This is ancient.
Right.
This is literally ancient now. If it had a license plate, it would be antique. Okay.
Which, by the way, speaking of music, saw a cool shirt at Target the other day. If you will even shop there, they had a very cool Led Zeppelin shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're in that neighborhood, go check them out. Target.
Target. I haven't been in Target since they went woke.
Well, yeah. That's why I said if. Bill, some, not much. And I do have it set up, and Scott's going to get a preview of what we did last week. He's going to get to hear it, and I'm going to go over with it.
Good, when we're done.
Yeah,
when we're recovering from this alcohol.
Yep.
You know, got to digest. Anyways, craziness roundup. You know what's funny is Michael and I, we were talking about craziness during the course of the week. And it's one of the things that we will grab something and we'll text back and forth. Hey, did you see this? Did you see that? Well, we've been talking about, and I think we got to let everybody know. I think we talked about it with Chris last week.
Yep.
The volume.
Yeah.
And we said the volume is at 7.9. And Spinal Tap, we're going to get to Spinal Tap, which for those of you that aren't familiar with that movie, Spinal Tap amps go to 11.
Right.
All right. I personally think that it's my and I'm just pure speculation. I don't know shit. I think we get to Spinal Tap by May of this year. It will be on full display. It'll be fucking Ted Nugent rocking at Spinal Tap levels.
Good analogy there, because the one time I saw him live, which was with Damn Yankees at Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta, so at the end of the show, he strikes the chord from Cat Scratch Fever, right? The encore's over.
It's always his encore,
right.
Yeah.
So he finished the encore, goes across the stage, hangs the damn thing on a guitar hanger like this, walks back across the stage, gets the crossbow, lights it. Damn thing's still ringing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's feedback like hell already. That flaming arrow hits the damn thing, and it woo. I'd never had actual pain in my ears from a concert.
It by far the loudest concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Now, did he ride the buffalo out?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, the second time I saw him, he rode that fucking buffalo.
Like I said, it was
that
damn.
brought him out. I'm like, oh my
Wasn't
god.
Full Ted. It was damn Yankees. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw him. Well, I don't know how we got on Ted Nugent, but I have a great
Tangent.
I have a great Ted Nugent story, though. I have a great Ted Nugent story to share with you guys.
Volume up to 11. That's where we get.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
First time I saw him was at the world's largest annual outdoor music festival.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Summerfest. It's in Milwaukee every year. And it has been for probably 60 years now. I saw Ted Nugent there. He played the main stage in about 19... It was the same summer that I saw Rush. I saw him after.
So 79 or 80.
79, maybe 80, yeah. And I mean, because he was at his peak right in then.
Right.
Because he came out with a double album. It was 1980.
Okay.
It was the summer of 1980. Come out with a double album, and I'll never forget because I was
Chris says, why not just make 10 louder?
Well, his fucking shit went to 11. Okay, I mean, and I understood my story. My Ted Nugent story is going to help everybody make sense of this. Okay, I didn't know, but he had Marshall made custom amps for him. They were just fucking bigger.
Right.
Well, I didn't realize it at the time.
So really, Spinal Tap kind of mirrored that in a way.
In a way, yeah. And I was sitting on the left-hand part of the stage, probably about 10 rows back from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't hear. If you or I were talking, it'd be like,
right.
We could not hear. It was so fucking loud.
Right.
So, anyways, okay, my Ted Nugent story.
Yeah.
All right, remember when I was keeping bees?
Yes. Master beekeeper over here.
When I had a heart attack, I kind of let that go. Right. I had to let the bees go. I gave a bunch of hives away. I had about 40 hives at one time. And one of the things that I used to do is I would rescue honeybees. So people would call or they'd advertise, hey, I have a swarm, or I have honeybees underneath my doghouse, or I have honeybees in my attic.
Right.
I have honey. Well, I got a call from a homeowner that bought a foreclosure, mm-hmm. and they had in cleaning up the house, and then they were going to occupy it. It was down in Brooksville.
Okay.
Now, how this got to where this got to Brooksville, I don't know. I'm thinking it was a roadie. Woman calls me up, and she says, are you the bee man? Yeah. Well, I have a speaker on my back porch that the bees have made a hive in.
Okay.
And I can't, I love the bees, but I can't sit out on my back porch because there's 1,000 bees coming and going every minute. Okay. And I mean, so I'm like, okay, well, I thought that was an exaggeration because 100 bees would be about right for a typical size hive. Well, I get down there.
Chris.
I get down to this house, and I brought my son Jack with me.
Uh-huh.
And we suit up, and she goes, just go around the corner. I don't like going back there. I've been stung, and I don't want to get stung. And I go, and here's this fucking amp. It's an amp. And it's on a goddamn shelf.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so it's up here.
Right.
And it's a Marshall amp. So, and the bees have made their hive in the amp because the screening on the outside had ripped. So
right.
that was their way to get in there.
Right.
And they had built their hive throughout this amp. Now, this fucking amp was... Okay, think about a big Marshall case amp.
Not like a 4x12.
No. No, it was like... it was this tall.
Yeah,
okay,
so
it was
probably 4 tall, 12.
Well, I'm just
And
like,
however wide.
what the I never seen an amp that big. Okay, I'm probably
Right.
out of the screen. I've never seen an amp that big.
You were off to the side a little bit. That's all right.
So
They get it.
Jack and I are like, our first thought is, well, how long has this been up here?
Right.
Because I mean, in Florida, of course, I mean, it had cobwebs on it and stuff, and it was full. I mean, full of bees. She wasn't exaggerating because it was just
Right.
like there was a highway.
Damn.
Air
Constant.
just, I mean, ridiculous. So we were like, can we possibly take that whole thing off that shelf, and will it hold together? That was our first thought, because if we could
Right.
do that, what we would do is come back at night when all the bees are back in the hive
Right.
and put a blanket over it and take it off and just put it in the back of our vehicle and take it to my house, which is what we ended up doing.
Wow.
Because
I remember this now, by the way. The
okay,
story.
well,
But
it's funny
please
because
continue.
Jack gets on that one side, and we lift it up and we were like putting it out, and oh man, it was so heavy. Well, it was heavy because it was full of fucking honey. It probably had literally 100 pounds of honey in it.
Good God.
Because I mean, amps weigh the magnets in there.
Well, yeah, alone the magnets are going to weigh a good bit themselves.
Correct.
But
Okay,
you add
but then
liquid to that.
you add honey. Honey
Yeah.
is not. Honey's a very dense liquid.
Right.
Okay. So we're like, oh, and I thought when we first moved it, I'm like, okay, look it's moving, because the shelf was helping us.
Right.
It's moving and it's not coming apart, and we were knocking on it and it seemed pretty solid. Well, it turned out it was. So we put the blanket over it and we got it out, and we're lifting it down, and we put it right side up, and we have this blanket all the way over it. And the bees are pissed,
Oh, yeah.
So we're smoking them, and because now we got to carry this bitch to my fucking van that I had at the time, and put it in this fucking van, and then we're gonna wear our suits driving up up 75
Right.
at nighttime,
Because
praying
the
that
bees-
the bees aren't gonna get out and sting us because they're pissed off.
Right.
Long story short, we get home, we don't get stung, everything was fine. We get this thing up on a set of cinder blocks. We put it the way that it was.
Right.
Okay. And we took the cover off, and the next day when the sun got light, we come out, and on the back of this amp, in white spray paint with the typical like stencil,
Stencils, right.
says Ted Nugent 1978 tour. That's all it said.
Damn.
I'm
That's
just
cool
like,
as hell. Yeah.
fucking A. And of course, you know what? I didn't think of it at the time because I was like, okay, we took the amp apart, we broke the hive apart, and we put it into Langstroth hives. And
Right.
that one hive gave us actually 3 hives. There was
Damn.
so many. There was literally probably 100,000 bees in that hive. So we had to stack those 3 hives right next to each other, so when the bees would come back to it, they could kind of figure it out.
Right. Catch their own scent and everything.
Well, and
Pheromones.
it was, at first it was kind of weird because in breaking the hives, there was one queen, but then when you break, they got to make their own. They make their own queens then.
Right.
When they do that, so you have to make sure that goes on. And whenever they make queens, then they're going to swarm, and it's a big pain in the ass because,
You had to do it twice there.
correct. Well, I didn't save the amp though because it was just completely destroyed on the
Right.
inside.
After that, yeah.
I mean, the bees ate everything. And I think it was not that they ate it, but they destroyed everything to make room for their house.
Right.
So I'll never forget too, those 3 hives. This is a funny story too. Those 3 hives, the house next door to us.
This was over where you lived when I met you.
Correct.
Okay.
The house next door to us was vacant for a very short period of time. Because the young couple that I was sad that they moved. They were really nice. I call them kids, but because they were like 15 years younger than we were.
Right.
But they were just really, they were fun. They were great neighbors. They had 2 dogs, and then they got transferred to a job in Daytona. Well, anyways, before they sold it, they had moved and they had it on the market. So they had a landscaping company would always come and to it. Well, there's this, bees do not like black people. Okay? And it has nothing to do with black people. It has to do with the melanin of their skin. Okay, the dark skin.
I'm sorry that I reacted like that.
Oh, but
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
it's not funny because I've taught a couple of women that were black women how to keep bees. But I told them, I said,
This is
there's
not going to be easy.
there's 2 things you never want to do. You never want to eat bananas around bees, because that is the smell of the pheromone that they put off to attack.
Ah.
Okay, so you eat bananas and breathe on bees, and you are going to get fucking dusted, man. But then I think that because
I'll catch up the chat in a couple of minutes, guys.
animals are typically dark fur that attack beehives, and that's a reaction that they've learned over the course of time.
Right.
So, anyways, there's a guy on the other side of the fence that I've got these 3 hives, and I'm like, and he's got a weed whacker, and I run out there. I'm like, oh, that guy's
wait.
that guy's gonna get blasted, and I'm like, hey, dude, I just want to let you know, there's like 50,000. Ah! He starts running away because he was getting blasted.
Who's the like you see in the cartoons with the cloud running
he
behind
was
him?
running. But he held on to his thing because it was going, as he was
So they were
running.
following that shit.
Well, and what was weird too about being a beekeeper is after a while, getting stung, you don't even notice when you get stung. You get stung so much that it's just like,
Fuck it.
yeah, all right, whatever. Well, it doesn't. It just. I think it's.
That couldn't be a beekeeper.
Your body gets so used to the venom that you just like, pick. You just pick them out.
Yeah, I've always had to think about stinger insects.
The only thing that I couldn't, I always would wear a face shield. I would go out without anything else, but I would wear a face shield because getting stung in the face, you get stung, if a bee fucking tags you in the nose, that'd be a nasty.
I can imagine. Just to catch up our chat right quick, Ted said,
Ted?
Bill said, I saw Ted in Tampa with Damn Yankees and Sticks. He shot a moose head with a flaming arrow. Nice. Chris comments, isn't Roz's hearing bad because of the news? Bill says yes.
What?
A lady the band.
What?
What? Sorry. What? I'm sorry. Anyway, Rush toured with Nugent around 1975, where they shared a few bills, and that's what I mentioned. Correct to Chris.
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
I've heard that before too. Yeah, a couple of pretty cool ones. Besides, of course, Kiss is a pretty well-known one. Gene swears he taught Getty how to play bass, but
I think it might be the other way around.
But and Uriah Heep.
If you think about just think about this. You have Rush, and I mean the Kiss
1974 to 75.
The Kiss Army was huge, but still, even their early music was more complicated. And Kiss played. Did they play anything that was not 4/4?
Not only not 4/4, but I don't think they played much that had over 3 chords in one song.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And beyond that, it's the most simplistic music.
Right. And that Kiss weren't about the musicianship.
It was about the show.
The showmanship.
It was the show. And
without a doubt, they put on
all
the concerts that I've seen. They put on one of the best stage shows I've seen. I won't qualify one show as the best. I'm just saying one of the best.
You could put them in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even without makeup.
Because it's subjective.
Even without makeup, they're still in that top 10. Because I did see him twice. I saw him once with makeup on the '96 reunion tour, and then '85 New Year's Eve.
Well, one of my great disappointments in life came when I was in 7th grade. I begged my parents, and it would have been the first time I saw Rush.
Okay.
Rush was opening for Kiss. They played the Mecca Auditorium in Milwaukee.
Right.
And I was like, I was.
I want to go see thee.
I want to go see Kiss. I want to go see Kiss. I want to go see Kiss. And all of my friends in our little friend group, it was Kiss Alive 1 or 2. I forget.
Man, yeah. But still, either of the Alive tours.
Either one of those 2 tours
Yeah.
is what it was. And I was just like, I want to go see them. I want to go see them. And nobody's parents would let anybody go.
Right. Now, here, my cousin Skip, the one that was on the ship in the Arabian Sea. By the way, his mom expressed interest. Hopefully she got into the cast and is watching us out there. If you are, hello, Aunt Tommy, I love you. But anyway.
Aunt Tommy, we're moving to X. Get an X account.
We're moving to X. Get an X account. I'll put that out there on Facebook and everything this week, too. But anyway, her son, Skip, my cousin, less than a year younger
Captain
than me.
Skip.
Captain Skip. He goes by Chaz now.
Yeah.
But anyway, all that aside, he was a Kiss fan and had a copy of Destroyer.
Okay.
When we lived in Hateville, because I lived with his family for a little while we were down there. And Aunt Tommy was my surrogate mom for a little bit.
Well, that's nice.
But yeah, he was a big Kiss fan. And then 2nd grade, you talk about 7th grade. 2nd grade, during milk break, we could go over and sit at the record player.
Oh,
right?
So did you guys listen to Kiss?
We had Beth on 45. And so a few of us
Which
would
was,
go
I
there
think,
with our headphones.
I think that was their biggest 45 hit.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I think that might have been their, well, Rock and Roll All Night is their signature song.
Chris says, I think it was the Down the Tubes tour, i.e. the Caress of Steel. That would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And timing-wise, 75, right?
Yeah.
You know,
that was right around
Down the Tubes. I love that.
Down the Tubes.
Chris, you would get a big kick out of his son, Jack. Jack's favorite album in the whole world is Caress of Steel.
Yeah. You know what's funny is he came over we had carbonara tonight, and I made up my own pancetta this year, so you know,
dude, foodie extreme over here, and just incredible cook. Anyway,
thank you very little. Tip your waitresses.
Don't make me spit out my Manhattan over here now.
So he came over for dinner tonight because we had. I make carbonara, which is like death for your heart. But I make it like 2 or 3 times a year.
Here, you want to hear something really funny? One of the first 2 dishes he taught me to make when I moved into this apartment was carbonara.
But it's because it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's just eggs,
it's
cheese,
simple
and pasta.
And in moderation, every once in a while is
correct.
Still okay, you know.
You know,
we're managed.
Yeah. So, anyways, I said to him, I said, "Hey, he asked me, he said, well, what are you doing in your podcast?" And I said, "I'm doing the Sagamore Double Oak Manhattans."
Nice, Chris. What game? He says, Caress is my computer RPG soundtrack.
Yeah, what game?
Yeah, what game? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, Jack was like, I said, Jack, you're more than welcome to come over, and he's like,
anytime.
I'm going to bed.
Dude, tell him
I know.
If he doesn't come in here and guest one night, I'm going to be offended. We'll do a Caress of Steel theme that night.
Yeah, well, and I told him.
I think I'm going bald.
You know what I just realized, dude? We are back in our groove.
Oh, man.
Yes, I gave him a great bottle of bourbon.
Nice, Chris. I've never heard of it, but I might look that up.
Mike could?
Yeah, might look that Mike could. Might look that up.
I always bust his balls on Mike could.
Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. The necromancer in particular always puts me in that state of mind. That sounds like something the necromancer would go well with, would pair well with. Right? Cheers to that. Dude, we are back in our groove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know what? We totally went off of the craziness roundup into the Ted Nugent and haven't gone back to it yet.
Yeah, no, actually, we haven't talked about any craziness.
No, not at all.
You know, but here, this is
Here, you want to just do like a...
well, but this is what happens when you get kind of music nerds together,
Yep.
and we start, the frequency's right, the tone is on.
The steampunk fantasy turn-based role-playing game from the early 2000s.
Oh, so it's a LARP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, is it a
Is it
real life thing, or are you just still playing?
Or is it a
early
board, like a
2000s,
board? Well,
the vintage game of it?
well, what I'm getting at is like, is it Dungeons and Dragons?
Right. Yeah, that's what.
Which
it
is
sounds
kind.
like.
I mean, that in a sense is a LARP.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, it's just not always with costumes, and well, I guess some people do them.
Yeah, I know Colton's big into that.
Right.
Matter of fact,
I remember when he built a sword.
yeah. Well, he just got hired by a company to write script for them, and
Really?
he's getting paid. Yes.
Okay, here, craziness roundup.
Okay.
This dovetails perfectly with it. Yes, whoever always gives me hell about dovetailing, I think that's Lee. Yes, we're dovetailing again.
Perfect.
Dungeons and Dragons rule changes. Have you heard about that?
No.
They've gone woke.
Oh.
The races are no longer races, they're a species. They aren't bound to their race as far as their abilities. So when you used to have to, and here, really nerd here, and Chris
Yeah.
will get this obviously. Not a LARP PC single player. Ugh.
Oh,
he
okay.
said.
Okay. No,
Okay,
thanks for the
good.
clarity, Chris.
Yes,
that
yes,
makes
thank
sense now. Okay.
Well, you know what? It reminded me of Myst when you said that, because I used to play that shit. Myst and Riven and all that. Does anybody remember those?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, okay, where was I headed there? Dungeons and Dragons, woke rules. So a dwarf doesn't have to be short and stocky, and doesn't automatically come with the character attributes that your dice rolls would then accent.
That's fucking
So
changing the whole
Yeah,
game.
so they end up starting. I mean, it sounds like to me anyway. I'm not a player anymore. I played for 2 weeks when I was 12.
Well,
And then done. But I know the concept of the game and everything.
because I played that game
Yeah.
when I was in high school, so
All right.
a lot of years ago, 45,
You know, I'm talking 43 myself here, so about the same time.
and we played that at we
Woke
would
D&D. Yes, that's exactly right.
we would rotate houses, and we would play it once a week, and I played for like a year.
Here, my parents were hippie community,
Yeah.
right? So even though they had somewhat conservative beliefs, they were more on the libertarian side there. So I remember my dad's politics were always like Reagan. Okay, here, tangent. 76 to
We need
80.
to sign tangent.
Yes.
We can just turn it on. Tangent.
Yeah. You know what? You can have these special made too. We'll just have another one put back here.
Me, tangent.
Or here, once I get the box going, we'll just blink it on the screen.
Tangent.
Anyway, parallel to the Carter to Reagan years.
Which is kind of what it feels like now. We talked about
That's
that
what
today.
we were talking about earlier. So this is kind of a circle back to the craziness roundup. So as most of, well, Chris, you were born when Reagan was president. So,
I always consider.
but Bill and Beth might get some of this. The economic, the world situation, the whole bit with the Carter administration and the happenings at the end of that administration were strangely paralleled today with the
Kind
ceasefire
of. I thought
and the hostage release thing.
I thought for sure that we were going to, talking about parallels when you said that, and we exchanged those texts prior to the news breaking of the ceasefire.
Right. 85, he says.
And I
Yes,
thought
the same year I saw Rush for the first time.
I thought for sure that those things were going to be resolved next week.
Right.
Just like
After the fact.
just like Reagan came into office, and I think on his third day they released the hostages.
Right.
And even I was in high school at the time, and I was like, well, that was pre-negotiated.
You know what I think? I think being able to release it today was more to help Biden save face a little bit.
Could be.
And
I mean, see,
have something within his legacy.
What's hard to find? What's
no
hard?
politics.
What's hard to figure out right now?
Yeah.
Is for those of you that don't know that there's a war going on, and it's an ancient war, and it's playing out. Matter of fact, Mel Gibson wants to make a movie about this. I don't know if you saw.
I saw some of the stuff from Rogan.
I listened. I listen to Joe Rogan podcast when I drive, and I listen to that podcast. And yeah, it is. It's not only pretty, but it's also tasty. It's like drinking liquid copper, and because
that's a really good description.
This isn't copper. Okay, this is brown.
Yeah.
But this turns it into copper.
Yeah.
This and this, because this has got a red hue to it.
You know how you used to put a penny in your mouth when you didn't want to go to school and try to raise your temperature?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes total sense. There's a bitter aspect to that copper, and there's also a sweet aspect to it. So,
that's what I always say about Manhattan.
Tangent.
Liquid copper.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we going?
I don't know. We're craziness roundup. We're on the craziness roundup.
Yeah, we did the woke D&D.
Woke D&D, which is
that's crazy,
blasphemous to me.
Yeah, I mean that's totally changing the game.
Yeah,
because here, for those of you who don't know that might be watching back, because I know everybody.
Here's the thing that this is.
You choose your character based on their physical attributes, and then you
build
with that.
Right, and you build upon
and not just physical, but magical or whatever.
Right. Well, what kills me about that is the saying, you go woke, you go broke.
It's going to kill the game.
That's my fear.
Yeah. Well, what would Colton think about that? As far as player classes and things like that, somebody who seriously got their passion into the freaking game.
Colton
and have to live role play it.
Colton is one of my. Remember, I told you I have like 4 or 5 people. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 4 or 5 people that I talk to on a fairly regular basis. He's my number one most regular.
Right.
And because they're all in a certain camp. Okay.
Right.
The other person that we've been talking about for about the last 4 days, that they're in that camp too.
Okay.
Which is not come into the other part of the thing that we've been talking about.
Not in the party.
I'm skillfully avoiding the topic.
Right.
It's still very much on my mind, and it's still weighing on me. Just for your edification, I had somebody, a very good friend of mine from the past, pop up into my world, and it's been very enlightening and fun for me.
Mel's supposed to be doing a follow-up to the Passion of Christ, Bill says.
Yes, this is the Passion of the Christ, and it's called, of course, what he says it's about the resurrection, but what he wants to make it out, he says, basically there's good and evil in the universe, and his theory or the theme of this movie, and I think it's based on the truth, to be honest with you, is that good and evil is duking it out, and they have been for as long as the earth has been on earth. Eons of time.
Yeah.
And now they're duking it out over control of our species, human beings.
Yeah.
And
there's some important shit coming, whether it's good or bad. There's some important shit about to come down.
Well, here, we've been kind of skirting around this for this fucking 40 weeks we've been on the air.
Yeah. And part of the reason is because we did set those rules originally, no politics, no religion. And here we are going both ways in the same.
Because they're so intertwined
Yes.
in
And you know what?
at the 60,000 foot level. Okay,
Here,
looking
when
at
we
things,
when we move to X,
we
do you
can.
want to lift that? Because why not just be
We won't.
ourselves?
We won't. We won't get blasted.
Yeah. Why not just be ourselves when we come back on X? All the way.
I, w- it-
Let us know what you think.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, because we don't take
Yeah.
you and I both operate with handcuffs on.
Right. And here, we've always said what this is about, what Loquacious Libations is about, is getting together and unwinding from the craziness. Sometimes that requires a purging, like we talked
Of the
about earlier
crazy,
this week,
but
of that craziness.
here's the other thing though that I'm
A
afraid of.
discussing and able to put it out there,
Here's what I don't want to do though.
alienating anyone.
Well, not so much. It's like okay,
That's my fear. Sorry,
yeah,
I interjected on you there.
well, that's part of it, but it's like okay, I'm taking like all right, let's take the person that popped up into my world.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I mean, this is somebody I care about.
Right.
You know, I want them to have a happy life and be successful and all the things you want for somebody that's close to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, and even for the people, and I don't want to alienate them from me or from having a relationship. Like,
Here, the meme I mentioned earlier, I have the same effect with that friend. I don't want to push that person away. So here, for the last 4 years,
yeah, because well, and here I want to. I'm
I
gonna.
shut down on social media with that kind of stuff because of that reason.
Well,
I don't want to
here
lose people out of my life.
I don't want to lose. There's certain people I don't care if I lose.
Right.
Like I have another one that I'm on a message board. That's a workout message board. Okay, and he's a good dude. Matter of fact, he's somewhere close because he's in the 386 area code.
Okay.
And this is a global message board. I mean, I know a couple cats from Europe, a couple cats in South Africa.
Right.
Well, what's interesting, and he is full tilt. Full tilt. He can't see the reality. You know, I mean, he just can't. Like one of the topics on the board today was the Dr. Fauci book written by RFK. Okay, and he just I mean, it triggered him.
Right.
He gets very triggered. Okay, and he blasts. You meatheads don't know. Da, 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 da. You know, it's written by somebody that's a quack, and I'm like, oh, how can you call RFK a quack? I mean, this is the guy that took Monsanto to the mat.
Right.
Okay, the reason Monsanto doesn't exist anymore is because of that guy.
Right.
And he's a quack. You know, you just lost the argument. Please wake the fuck up.
Right. I was going to go try to find that meme that I sent you earlier, but a friend of mine, she was, well, I don't want to give too much away.
The meme that I sent was,
yeah. That was awesome.
Do I still have that?
But this meme that I brought
We gotta
up
show
earlier,
that meme. Do you have that meme? I don't know if I deleted it
I don't
yet.
have it available. It's on my real phone over there. But here, Bill says, just talk about the same things you talk to each other about at the bar. Which means we would let loose.
Yeah, we would. We would fucking tear it up.
We've never really held back. We censor ourselves. Well, here, no, we don't censor ourselves. We temper ourselves.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah. We let our beliefs be known, but we kind of temper it with, look, we don't want to offend anybody. It's just the way we are. You know what? In that regard, I think that's what we should keep it as. So here, politics and religion are allowed.
Well,
in a reasonable fashion. How's that?
how about and you know how like we have a tangent button?
Yeah.
We hit a political button or we hit a a fuck you button or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All stop.
Yeah.
There we go. We're just hitting all stop.
I have to show
heated,
everybody this meme.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
He told me earlier that his wife. Yeah.
I sent a text to Michael, and I said, "What did I say? Elizabeth is."
It's taking me to a psychic.
I said,
or something.
So Elizabeth made me go to see a psychic. Okay, and then I sent this meme. Let me see if does this show up.
Hang on just a second, because I've got to get back into YouTube. It was kind of bugging on me for a second. View channel.
I hope that
There's
that's
the
on the camera. Well, wait, can I?
I'll tell you in a moment. Yes, you're good. Perfect. Matter of fact, good focus and everything. Focus? Both? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
very insensitive joke I was about to reference there. Sorry.
If I went to a
Hopefully
psychic,
nobody caught that.
if I went to a psychic, there's a lot of things.
Chris Carter's cracking up. Can the audience control the button? No, that was Bill came in with that.
But that, it's funny.
I don't know. Because that would technically make us censors if we hit a kill button.
No, I wouldn't do a kill button. It's just a warning, like, hey, we're gonna blast somebody. So just be warned, we're gonna blast some fucking shit out.
Right. You
some
know what?
rhetoric.
There might be a way eventually, once we get monetized and get full high tech and shit.
If that ever happens, who fucking cares?
That we can have some kind of button for them to be able
Warning.
to hit that lights up something back.
No. You know what we need is just to impose a video. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning. Warning.
There you go. The robot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was now here. Back to Granddaddy, Manhattan Connection. Right. When he would come home from work, I'm guessing he worked probably 7 to 4 or something like that. Because he would get home before 5 o'clock. And
hey, 4 o'clock is happy hour.
Well, no, 5 was in our house.
Well, in our house, in my world, 4 o'clock, the market closes and fucking get your paperwork done and get to the bar.
Okay, so financial market, you're done at that point, yeah. So Granddaddy he probably got off work at 4.
Yeah,
he
worked the early shit.
Right. So he would get home at 4:15, because this was Hateville, Georgia, right? The Ford plant was probably about 3 miles away from his house, right? So he was an accountant at Ford and would just drive straight home, come in and do the whole Mr. Rogers thing. I mean, he would take his business attire off, take his tie off, which was always a clip-on, because he hated fucking real ties.
Well, who fucking likes ties?
Right. Well, you know what? Before hats, ties was one of my things. Funny enough, it was his ties. But we'll go into that another time altogether. 90s, I used to wear the 70s wide ties to work at Revco when I was required to wear it.
And that's when skinny ties were in.
That's when the skinny sweater ties were in. The ones that came down to here.
Yeah.
No, a gentleman's tie goes to
the belt. Yes. I always wore mine to the belt.
Yes. Anyway.
I used to hate them fucking. Here, tangent.
Yeah, because I'm already on
I got blasted for this, and rightfully so, because I had friends people that we traded with that died on 9/11.
Right.
Okay. I had somebody that
I'm not being flippant about that. I'm taking my hat off.
Yeah, I had friends at Cantor Fitzgerald that the whole firm blew up.
Right.
Anyways,
because I know what community you were in during that.
I said something. I said something once and I said this in New York City. Over maybe one of these, I said, the best thing that happened out of 9/11 is we don't have to fucking wear suits anymore.
I get you on that.
Here's the response of the guy I said that to.
What's that?
You're a sick motherfucker.
Sick fuck. Just like your meme there.
Yes.
Sick fuck.
But see, that goes, here. I'll let everybody kind of know something that you already know.
Yep.
The first firm that I worked for was the fucking 800-pound gorilla of Wall Street. Okay? And I got that job because the guy that I interviewed with had a tattoo on his arm. His name was Wally Walshine, and he had a tattoo on his arm, and it went around his arm in a ribbon. And it was every Pacific island that he fought on in the United States Marine Corps during World War II.
Damn.
Okay? And I mean, it was Tarawa and Iwo Jima, and I mean,
Wow.
all the blood shed that he fucking faced. Well, anyways, I got that job because I was a former Marine.
Right.
And that's the only reason I
Not
got that.
former. You're a Marine.
Yeah, you're always a Marine. And that is true. That mentality
Yeah.
never leaves
As
you.
a matter of fact, as long as I've known him, that's the first time I've ever heard you say former.
Yeah,
And
you just.
I know it was just the way you were flowing there at the moment. I know you don't mean
that
it
mentality
that way.
never.
Yeah.
It's. I have a hard time with it sometimes.
I know. I know you do.
Um,
What a tasty drink.
I know it's so fucking good, but that adds to the sick fuck. That's one of the reasons why I'm a sick.
That's one of the reasons why you are. Well, here, when you go through traumatic shit, you develop graveyard humor.
And
There's no doubt about
And
that.
when
I'll tell you something that you and I share in common that
when you're in that
contributes to
shit,
that
when you're in that shit, it
is
is
that
grave hurt.
fucking heart attack.
Oh, that is grave hurt. Yes. Oh,
And that's why I get you on that respect. I mean, I got you on that respect before that on a couple of different levels
Yeah.
too. But we won't go into all that because I've seen some pretty good trauma here and there.
you know what's
Yeah,
funny?
but not any kind of wartime like he did, but
You know what's funny? The person we've been talking about.
yeah.
Sorry.
I did the same thing earlier. You heard me.
That person said to me, she goes, "It's amazing to me how many layers of PTSD you should have that you don't."
That's a very good point too. Because I mean, layers of PTSD really speaks to me there. And it doesn't have to be a wartime situation like you were in, because I know that's got to really fuck you up. I mean, that's
Well, in here, I'll let everybody kind of know I'm a combat wounded veteran
yeah,
too. So
yeah. But yeah, I've been through some shit that just rocked me to my freaking core. Even things that I've done myself that I look back and go, what the hell? Who was that? You know.
but here, it speaks to it. Okay, I'm gonna tie this together.
And we're no longer in chat, so Bill, Chris, sorry.
I'm gonna tie this together because I know we're getting pretty close to an. Oh,
Yeah.
we're past an
Yeah,
hour.
we're past it a little
I'm
bit.
gonna
You say I've got it queued over.
All right,
already,
I'm gonna
but
tie this together.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you something.
And we haven't gotten around to anything.
You know
We've
what?
just been free forming the whole damn
I know,
time.
but you know what? There's something else we should go out with.
What's that?
We're 5 days away.
Hold on. Do the search on it right there. You can set it up. We'll turn the volume up. So, all right. So, while he's doing that, I'm going to go back and cover a couple of things. First of all, social media. Facebook, at Loquacious Libations.
You'll appreciate this.
YouTube, at Loquacious Libations. Instagram, Loquacious_Libations. And X, where we will be for the first time next week.
We're coming with the new administration. We're shifting to the free speech platform
free speech platform
of the world,
and that is
we're
X at Loquacious Live. So if you don't have an X account, please go ahead and get one so you can be with us next week.
This song. If you don't agree with me that this is so apropos,
I'm not even going to look because I know you're good already. But here's your volume button right there. So hit it. No, no, not the top one, but the middle one right there.
Well, hit it.
Okay, take
I
it
don't.
up
I don't even know.
here. Well, I'm not even going to look, but I'm going to see the volume there.
I should put it to the best part of the song, but
All right, now just go ahead and start it in there.
I think it started.
Is it?
Is this tied together?
Yeah, it should be.
Now you see what it is.
Volume. Yeah, I see what it is now. Sorry. Why is it not playing? I'm hooked up to Bluetooth. Damn it. Here's our Laurel and Hardy moment tonight.
It comes at the end. It tells you
The volume up on
the
that?
shift is here. It's
What
blinking.
the hell?
It's blinking. Do you need the
Yeah, hit the button in the background. It's probably going to blast the shit out of us in a second. Guys, I know y'all are laughing like hell at us back there.
Because we're fucked up.
Dude, one of these Manhattans gives you a good buzz.
Oh, absolutely. It's nothing but alcohol.
And you know what we haven't done yet?
Well, I hear it playing.
Yeah, it's on the damn phone. I don't know why it's not connected. Hang on.
I'm pushing the button. You want me to push the button?
Nope. Hang on. Yeah, keep the button pushed. Okay, connected. There we go. Now we have sound. So, you know what we haven't done yet?
All of our musical fans, I know we're all kind of music nerds at different levels. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen, based on our
Cheers. On guard.
Cheers. On guard.
It's in the air.
In the air tonight, man.
5 days.
Good stuff.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us.
We'll be back next week with
On
what's your next Manhattan for us?
I think we're going to do the perfect Manhattan next week.
Perfect Manhattan next week on X at
Loquacious
Live. See you guys next week.
We'll see ya. Thanks. Be there. 5 days.
Yes, by next week we will have a new president.